Hello and welcome to today's LinkedIn Live. This is going to be an exciting session about global SEO in a B2B organization. I have with me today Michael, who I'm going to let in a short while, but I'm really looking forward to this talk. We're going to talk around half an hour, I think, all depending on how well we cover the topics. How well we answer your questions out there. There's a chat out here where you can say hi, and you can also send in your different questions. But before I let in Michael, let me just warm up a little bit about this topic. So the title is called How to Succeed with SEO in a Global B2B Company. Now, there are many aspects in having SEO success, and Michael is a great example of this. So I hope that you learn a lot today. I flew in from Brighton SEO yesterday and saw a lot of different exciting talks. Got my picture with the seagull here. One interesting topic there was actually that Perplexity might use affiliate links, Amazon affiliate links. That was a pretty interesting way for an LLM to make money. But for me, what was interesting, particularly interesting, were two talks about global B2B SEO. First from Dyson, their product is hot air, so you can sell hot air. A super interesting talk about, from starting out without having any SEO strategy to actually building up a global team. And the second one was from SAS Software, also based in the UK, which was a company on a similar journey. And I think a lot of those things that I heard about yesterday is also something we're going to cover with Michael today. But let me let in Michael here to say hi to everyone. Hello,
Hi,
Michael.
Christopher. Hi, hello, hi everyone.
So, Michael, great to have you with me here in the studio. I think I'll just put in this slide a photo of us taken from last week. So, looking our best. Michael, welcome. Today we're going to talk about global SEO, doing SEO in a global B2B business, B2B industry. And I thought it could be great just to introduce yourself first. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about your career and how long time you've been with Mettler and etc.
Yeah, my SEO business started more than 20 years ago as a freelancer. Then I moved to an agency side, work on different SEO projects with a lot of different companies. And then 10 years ago, I decided to go in-house to Mettler-Toledo. It's a global company, manufacturing company of different lab and science devices.
Excellent. And so you've been with Mettler for now 8 years, right?
10 years actually already, yeah.
Oh, 10 years already. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the golden pin.
Yeah.
And we've been working together now for, I think, 5 years, more or less. That was so we've also had a long trajectory together working on different projects.
Yeah.
So we met up actually last Friday where you had an internal workshop in the company. And what I was impressed by is actually that you managed to get a lot of different people into the room, make SEO part of the central agenda. Could you put some words on this thing about educating a big organization about SEO?
I mean, the challenge in a big organization is to educate the right people, right? So basically, you have like a train the trainer method. So I know which colleagues to invite or to educate on SEO topics that they can also then educate other entire teams. And before COVID, actually, we had those meetings like once, twice a year with all the managers from the different product units. And during COVID, it was really challenging to do it online via Teams. So it was a bit, not the same. And now finally, we are back on track to the same format to invite 20, 30 people that we know, okay, if we train them, then they will spread the know-how to the different teams and educate the right people and basically to transfer the SEO strategy that we aligned on.
I'm just sorry, Michael. I'm just looking a little bit because I can't see that we are online here. I think, oh yes, we're online now. That's good. I think maybe some people missed the beginning here because there was a little issue here. But anyway, maybe Michael, you could just give me a brief introduction to yourself again, because I think we first live now. So sorry about that, guys. But maybe you could just give a brief introduction to yourself, and then we'll move on.
Sure. Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Michael with Mettler-Toledo since 10 years doing in-house SEO, and before that, actually in the SEO business since more than 20 years. Started as a freelancer at the beginning, then moved to agencies to work for different clients, different businesses, and then, as mentioned, 10 years ago, decided to go in-house to focus on one company and one strong brand, and move the needle forward with SEO with them.
Perfect. And so what we were talking about before when we were offline is actually that Michael and I, we've been working together for 5 years now, doing different projects. We have been live all the time. Okay. That's how it is with live sessions. They're always pretty exciting. So, but Michael, so just as we talked about before, you're doing internal workshops in order to educate the teams about SEO. And we met up last Friday. We did some sessions regarding some different hot SEO topics to get everybody on board. And I could really feel that it's one of the things that you're really skilled at is really getting SEO on the agenda. Could you put some words on this about what do you do? I guess that's a skill set, right? For being not only working about SEO, but also understanding that, how to implement it, how to get it to become a part of the agenda.
I think it's really important to get everybody on board, and not just to create the SEO strategy with the SEO team, but involve also the marketing heads of the different divisions, right? To understand, okay, what are their needs, or what are the goals that they have, and how can SEO or SEA help them to achieve this, right? So it's not like we are pushing defined strategy, but actually asking the different teams to understand, okay, how they want to grow, or what are the goals in terms of new product launches, product updates, and so on, and then looking how the different marketing online channels can support this strategy, basically.
Yeah, so really trying to actually, translate. First off, why should we work with SEO, and making sure that it also makes sense for the rest of the organization.
I mean, everybody knows in the organization how important SEO and SEA is, as they are driving more than 80% of our leads on the website, right, and sales. So this is already then important for the management to understand, okay, we need to invest further in those channels, and avoid to be either punished by Google because of some updates or whatever. So SEO is on the radar for sure.
And maybe we could start out actually regarding talking about the value of SEO. I know you have a funny story about the $1 million order, the SEO story about this. I think it changed a lot of, if there ever was anybody in doubt of the strength of SEO, I'm sure that story is something which makes people rethink it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a funny story because a colleague from a specific division selling very complex devices to the laboratories, for example, to measure quality of water, but also some other materials. So pretty expensive devices you cannot really buy online because they need to be also customized. And this colleague from the team recently mentioned, hey, we know from SEO we had like an order for 1 million solution to analyze a specific gas in a company. So this is really really nice story to see. Okay, this strategy or content that we put out there, it actually worked. It get the right people on the right pages, that then also converted into a real business. So this was really motivating. Yeah,
and this is, I guess, I mean, this is a part of this is of course also to make sure that there is the correct attribution, that you can really measure back to where did the journey start. Did this story have, how did you use this story internally afterwards? I mean, it's just a great value story.
I mean, we mentioned this in our regular communication that we have with management and also the different units, right? So this is like a presentation where we showed how valuable the SEO channel is, right? And with having the right strategy and content in the right place, you can really achieve a lot than turning this lead then into a sale.
Perfect. Actually, I didn't. In the beginning, we didn't present Mettler-Toledo. I think it could be interesting just because I'm fascinated about your products, and I meet them everywhere. When I go to the post office, there's always a Mettler-Toledo wait there. When I go to the airport, they're weighing my suitcase with a Mettler-Toledo weight.
Yeah.
But maybe you could just explain a little bit about the company.
Yeah, the company started 60 years ago by building precision balances that did not use springs, which was like usual in the old school balances, which weren't really precise, right? So Mettler developed like a new technology for precision balances. So basically, you can weigh like a feather, or for example, like an entire truck or even a train, right? So we have the technology to weigh basically everything. So we have like analytical balances for laboratories, but also industrial balances. And as you mentioned, post office, airports, retail stores. Once you know the brand, then you see the balances everywhere.
Yeah, and it's a global market leader as well in weighing instruments and laboratory instruments.
Yeah, exactly. Laboratory instruments included, like, for example, pipettes. So Mettler-Toledo also played a big role in the COVID vaccination engineering. So we supplied all the laboratories with devices that they used to develop the vaccines, actually. Here we're present in more than 25 markets, countries, more than 16,000 employees, and the team that is dedicated to the online channel is about 200 people globally that are somehow related to SEO and SEA and digital medias.
And I mean, you've been here for 10 years in the company. I mean, if you go into, you could say, like if you go into a third-party tool like Ahrefs, you can also see that the website traffic has exploded over that period. But maybe could you take me back to when you started out in the company? What did the SEO strategy look like at that time?
I mean, there was not really like an SEO strategy, right? I mean, our headquarters is in Switzerland, close to Zurich. So the teams responsible for SEO, SEA, I mean, it was not a team, it was one person that was trying somehow to handle SEA with an agency, and in free time basically dedicating some basic SEO in the English language, right? And then in other countries, wherever there was like a person that had some digital background or SEO know-how, they did it by themselves, right? So it wasn't like a global strategy. There wasn't also like a team dedicated to SEO. So this is the first initiative that it took once joining the company to build like a proper global strategy to include also China, Baidu, which is a big difference to Google, how it's operating, right? So we put this also on the radar to support the teams, and I built also like an internal team dedicated 100% to SEO topics, then supporting the divisions and also other countries and markets.
So I mean, I put in a different kind of topics, and we just this is just a conversation where we can talk about everything. But one thing here, I put in some 5 areas which are interesting as being a global head of SEO. Of course, one thing is the C-level buy-in, the KPIs to track, how to work with a global/local strategy. What is the internal work process in order to to perform, and and how can you build an internal winning team? So we talked about a little bit about the when you started out, when you came in, did you already there have management convinced that SEO was the way forward, or how did you have to elbow your way in?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, it wasn't easy at the beginning. As mentioned, there wasn't like an SEO team, so management knew, okay, SEO is important. It's driving a lot of traffic and conversions to the website, so we need to focus on that. But still, it was at the beginning hard to justify investments in SEO, because everybody thought, okay, SEO is for free, right? We just need to do something magic, and then traffic and conversions will happen somehow, right? But it's not the case. I mean, you need to invest also in SEO, build up in teams, educate people. So also a big effort on this side. And I think at the beginning, as mentioned, it was hard to convince management, but then they saw, if I started to hire people in the SEO, and they saw the results that they came with this after a while. So they realized, okay, yeah, it makes sense to invest SEO. And SEO isn't for free, right? I mean, you have investments in SEA, so you need to treat also the SEO channel accordingly.
And then I know between us, of course, as SEOs, KPIs like traffic, like clicks, impressions, rankings, etc. I mean, those are good metrics for us. But were there also KPIs which you had to where you had to translate these SEO performance into turnover and other metrics for C-level?
Yeah, sure. I mean, management needs a bit different metrics than SEO side. I mean, they not dealing with like search volume or ranking data there. I mean, at the end, interested in sales, right? So what kind of, or how SEO can contribute into the sales funnel later, right? So it's important to understand, okay, we need to have educational content as well, product content. So we need different content types to have available to get the right traffic to the website. And then we are measuring. I mean, you cannot buy all of our devices online, the more simple ones for labs like pipettes here. But then, as mentioned, those 1 million device, it's a configuration. It's like an installation of the customer side. So it needs a lot of information at the beginning, and then sales is picking up the leads and then trying to convert into sales. Yeah, at the end, it's sales for the management that it's deciding to understand, okay, how much SEO contributes to it, how much SEA is involved in it as well, right? To know where the investment should happen.
And I guess also for for $1 million product, a customer journey can be pretty long, right?
Yeah.
I guess it can be months or even years sometimes.
Can be something between 6 and 12 months for those complicated devices, right? I mean, also the company buying this solution, they also have a lot of decision to take on different levels within the company. So it's not just like add to cart and then you're done. So it can even take up 1 year, the customer journey once the sale is happening.
Yeah, and of course, and this also means that you have to be present. Of course, on one hand, you have the sales team warming up the leads, but I guess also that there are some big digital touch points here when it comes to organic traffic, right? In order to educate the prospect on the way.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we also recently launched like a kind of we call it stories, like a blog section, to have really those long tail topics that are not talking about a specific product, but educating the people about our solutions, right? So we're showing like use cases from other companies, which devices they install and how this solution help them to save costs or to grow in a specific segment.
Yeah. And how, because sometimes I meet companies where it's really a hard sell to create a blog, to say, okay, we need to do some inspirational content, we need to make some educational content, etc. Did you find that challenging to convince that we're going to put more resources into the educational content?
Yeah, at the beginning, also this was not really easy. I mean, also blog and content creation is also effort and investment at the end, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you can create like a blog, but it's not feeded with the right content from the right people, then it won't perform that good, right? And at the end, also we have metrics in this section to see, okay, what did this specific content brought in terms of traffic and potential sales. But once we convince the teams also to create content for this, like trending content, so we're trying also to help the content creators, like what kind of content should be created, right? So it's not about just create some content, but if it's not being looked up or it's not interesting for potential customers, then it shouldn't be created, right? So this is the biggest challenge that we have here.
Yeah, Michael, that's a great segue into this part about the execution. So let's say that we understand what kind of content we're going to build. Now the SEO team needs help, right, in order to create this content. So how can you set up a lean and mean content machine internally?
Yeah, I mean, sure, our content creators and the SEO team, they are not product experts, right? I mean, some devices are really complex and scientific solutions that we have, so it's important to understand first the product, right? So the content creators, they're doing like interviews with the product manager who's responsible for this specific solution, so they're trying to understand how this product can help our customers, and based on this interview, then the content creator is looking also like what are the current trends, right? So as mentioned already, during COVID, vaccination production was pretty big, so we create a lot of content to show how our devices helping other companies to achieve some goals. And this is pretty basic that we are doing to checking out, okay, what is the trending topic we need to write about currently.
Yeah. And how quickly can you go to market? Because one thing is, of course, having an interview with a product specialist, writing the content, having somebody else validate the content, publishing it. How have you set any internal deadlines which you need to make
Yeah.
in order to get this content published?
Yeah, I mean, the content creation part is actually did not take so many days to work on, right? I mean, within a couple of days we have the content ready, but then the approvals, alignment with the product management can take another 2-3 weeks, right? So we're aiming like, okay, let's say 1 month that we want to go live with a specific content once started to write it, right? I mean, in some cases, specifically if we write about solutions that are covering like different product units, right? So then cross-divisional topics. So this then, of course, is extending like the entire approval process, right? To get to know which products should be mentioned in the content piece, and then you need to feedback like from 3-4 different product managers, right? So this can take 2-3 months in order to have this content ready and being published.
And is that critical to I mean, I guess time is critical, right? I mean,
sure. I mean, for SEO, right? I mean, the sooner you go live with content, the better it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we are aiming also for good quality content, right? So we cannot publish content that in the end is maybe not correct and maybe can be also critical in some cases, right? So we need to ensure to have the validation from the business as well.
Yeah, exactly. And just for you guys who are listening in, please come up with a question if there's anything on the way that we should try to cover, and I'll see if we can mix it into our conversation here. So this is also, regarding content production when we're talking about global and local, because of course you're present in 25 countries. I guess that I mean, at a certain point you can standardize content, but I guess there are also some local differences, right?
Sure.
How do you what is your approach to this global approach?
I mean, we are trying to engage all the different country managers to understand what are the local needs that they have, right? I mean, specifically, for example, for like regulations. So this is a very local topic that, I mean, you have different laws in US and Brazil and other countries as well, right? So we need to understand how the business works, what are the differences, and based on that, then we're also creating local content that is existing only in Germany, for example, because they have like a new regulation about food safety that has changed, right? So this is, I mean, we are pretty close with the country managers, as mentioned, to understand how the business is working locally. I mean, sure, we're also doing like a local keyword research, right? But I mean, the keyword research is not delivering you always the best insights. This is like the starting point, right? But then we need to engage the people that they know business in the specific countries to then understand, okay, how we need to adapt the SEO strategy in the different countries.
Yeah. How does it work actually? Getting close to these local country managers. Is this part of marketing meetings, or is it something which is especially something which SEO has set up?
No, we added SEO to like an existing meetings that are happening quarterly with all the country managers, right? So we are talking about all the different marketing channels, initiatives, the goals for the next quarters. So we are updating them on those meetings. But then also we are organizing those workshops that you mentioned, right? And to these workshops, we're also inviting the people that should know more about SEO, because it's important for them as a channel. So, and also during these workshops, then we're having a lot of discussions to understand, okay, how is this business working in the country, right? What are the needs, requirements, and then we are adjusting the global SEO strategy then also to the local requirements.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, especially in the regulations part. I mean, it can be so different from country to country or region to region. That's especially something you have to focus on when you're working on local content. Excellent. So, Michael, when you started out, you said that there was one person doing some SEO, but when you came in, you were like the start of the team, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, still at the beginning, the first 1-2 years, it was a one-man show, but 100% dedicated to the SEO topic. And I remember, I mean, the first big change that we did, we moved from like subdomains to one global domain, and this really boosted SEO, of course, back then,
move.
right? Then a lot of different projects. Also, the question at the beginning was, okay, how we can grow with SEO even more, right? Yeah, and I mean, you need to have the right content in the right place to cover the full customer journey, not to focus only on products or product pages, because I mean, this is like the end of the customer journey already. We need to educate different people and customers to find the way to do the right solution, right? So,
Now you said that, I mean, when you came in, you already had one website, even though countries runs on subdomains. And the talk I heard yesterday at Brighton SEO about Dyson having 40 websites in 40 different countries. And I guess that this is one of the hard things that a global SEO has to do from the beginning. Is like try to gather everything in one place, right? Or what?
Yeah.
Or should it be? Or can you run 40 websites in 40 countries? How do you see it?
I mean, if you have 40 SEOs on the business, then sure you can, right? But I mean, to have a global strategy aligned on those different websites, I think it's challenging. And also in our company, as I started, we had also multiple websites for different products, and the first goal was to convince management to actually move to one global domain with the products, right? To have one strong brand. I mean, without a strong brand, SEO is pretty hard to install and to move forward, right? So this was like the additional goal, not to focus only on content and SEO, but also to have brand awareness projects and to be visible out there and to know, okay, Mettler is the brand if you're looking for like a precision balance, right?
Yeah, that's also a solid argument that it's about branding, right? In this sense, trying to centralize your brand efforts. I've been working on different B2B projects, for instance, for Campaign in the Danish playground manufacturer, and they also, they've moved they had different country sites, but they moved them all into their .com, and they've really seen benefits from this. So I guess this is I think this could be, if you're sitting out there and you have lots of local websites, I mean, this could be one of the great SEO moves actually to put everything together in one place. So Michael, you started out as a one-man band, but today, how big is the team today?
Today I have a team of 5 SEOs. It includes also like content writers that are in the team, and they're fully dedicated to the SEO projects. But then also in all the main markets, we have like a one person that is dedicated to SEO as well, right? So we are training also those people to understand the basics of SEO. We have twice a year we're doing like an onboarding training for new employees, or like a refresher for people that are working on SEO topics to know, or to share the know-how with the relevant people that can then also impact SEO locally, right? So this is as mentioned, the train the trainer method. So we need to know what people need to know about a specific SEO topic in order to have an impact on SEO performance.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, of course, you have your core SEO team, but you also have people who are involved in SEO, whether that would be content, I guess also UX, I guess it's IT. I mean, some people out there need to know about SEO. So you have quite a big fractional team as well.
Yeah, I mean, if we look through the entire company, I would say we have like, on top to the 5 team members for SEO, additional 40 to 50 people that are involved in SEO globally, right? That you are training regularly, and also organizing those workshops to really know, or to ensure that the right information is understood by the right people.
So how would you say today that, when you're going to pick people for your team, what is your focus? I mean, is it about being an SEO expert, or is it about being a potential SEO expert? How do you see that as a great fit for your team?
I mean, sure. I mean, the basics of SEO should be there, right? So this is like one requirement. But then when it comes, for example, to tools and software, I mean, this you can train all the people, right? So I think that the most important part is to see, okay, is this person having a passion for SEO, right? So is it technical SEO or content SEO? So the different parts. But then, I mean, a big plus also the knowledge of different languages, right? Since we're a global company, so the more languages SEO can handle, the easier or the better we can support with local SEO initiatives, right? So
yeah, I mean, how many languages does your team cover today?
I think around 10.
Yeah, that's pretty solid to understand what we're writing about. That's great. So I mean, you talked a lot about, it's a lot about training the next one. It's about education internally, and I guess also that has been a big part of your role to start out. It's also actually it's about training, right? It's about educating internally.
Yeah. I mean, once so at the beginning, it was about to train the new SEO talents on even more in-depth SEO topics, right? To really understand the business. Is it like, as mentioned, technical SEO or content SEO, and then to spread out this information that the people get within the company, right? So to have like regular calls with the teams, update them on the topics, and but also not just share the SEO strategy, but also to show like how SEO improved or had an impact on different projects, right? To have also like not party meetings, but to show, okay, now we are meeting to show or to share the success, right? To really understand, okay, we did this kind of topics or covered this content, and this was the impact and outcome out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's great, because I mean your team they're not all based in Switzerland. You have them in different places, so you also need to organize how you actually meet up and stay close. So I think, Michael, we actually we went through the C-level buy-in. We went through KPIs. We went through global, local content. We went through the work process actually, in particular for content. We also went through, how to build up a team. So I think we really covered some of the big topics if you're working in a larger B2B organization, which was, this was the idea of meeting up with you and picking your brain in this thing. What would you say now? What are you looking into? Both when you look at where you are as a business, and also when you look at what Google, other search engines, etc. What do you need? What could you point out some of the things that you are aware of in order to win on tomorrow's SEO?
I mean, content is sure one thing, but also the technical part, like Web Vitals, for example, to ensure the usability or user experience on the website itself is good for the customers. But then also, sure, you mentioned Google, and we are seeing all like the results are changing, right? Like how the focus on e-commerce, for example, is being pushed by Google. So I mean, Google in US for B2C products, it's looking more like Amazon already, right? So it's really going into this direction to also feed the right data to Google to be present also on those new different formats. I mean, structured data is one thing to include this, but then also you need to ready from the business side to have those solutions ready that can then support SEO in these different areas.
Mm-hmm. Now, also, what do you see regarding the new, you can say, search engines and the new AI models? For once, I would just like to mention that at Brighton yesterday, Markus Tober, he's now at Semrush, but he used to be at Searchmetrics. He actually said that Perplexity now are linking with affiliate links to Amazon, actually, and if you're not, it's hard for me to believe. I could only see them as UTM links, but maybe he's right here. I mean, that's a pretty hard thing if LLMs, if that's their earning actually to be, if they're going to be affiliates. But maybe what are your thoughts around these AI models?
I mean, sure, it's a big hype, the AI topic, right? And also within the global company, you're getting like questions from different teams, countries. Hey, are we ready for AI? What we should do in order to improve? But then at the end, it's hard data that we are showing, right? I mean, I checked the traffic that AI searches are generating, and it's still less than 1% for our business, right? So, okay, it's not that big amount. And from these 1%, 80% was actually Perplexity as well, right? So we see a growth in the search engine, but it's still not driving this traffic that should have an impact on business, right? And I mean, there's not really like a defined strategy in order to be present in AI searches, right? If you have the right content and the right quality, you will appear there anyway. So you don't need like to define a totally new strategy now because of Google overview or Perplexity or whatever.
Yeah, I also see that a lot of the top rankings of Google, that's used in Perplexity. A lot of the top rankings in Bing are used for ChatGPT. So it still has a lot to do with ranking high in the search engines in order to be part of the AI models and perhaps also be an Amazon affiliate. That's that's another thing. Yeah. But perfect, Mike. I think we passed the half an hour mark, even more. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
I really thought we managed to cover a lot of these different topics which go into global B2B SEO. So thanks a lot for sharing your knowledge.
Thanks for having me.
I can't see any questions out here, which means that we covered everything, I think.
Great.
That must be that must be. But anyway, for you who are on the call here, thanks for attending, and yeah, everyone have a great day. And Michael, if you could just stay here while I close down the live event.